Welcome to City and Guilds Math and English Skills session. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hazel McNeil Darby, secondary mathematics coach with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, and I'll be guiding you through today's math lesson. We'll be focusing on time. Let's begin. So at the end, we expect that you will use units of time in everyday context. For example, we'll specifically be looking at working out time differences. So some instruments used to measure time are the clock and the calendar. And there are two ideas related to time, duration and occurrence. So we'll be looking at time in relation to duration and also in relation to occurrence. A fun fact for you. The phone is not a timepiece, you know. It's instead the clock inside the phone that tells the time. So although we talk about the time on the phone, it's a clock inside the phone. So let's start looking at time in relation to duration or how long. For example, if we say that you're quarantined for 2 weeks, then how long did you quarantine for? All of these will answer the question, how long? How long were you, or what's the duration of time for your activity? It has been 10 months since we had face-to-face classes. That's kind of true, you know. The math session is about 30 minutes long. I will be there in 10 minutes. The journey takes about 2.5 hours. All right, so some units of time. 60 seconds is 1 minute and 60 minutes is 1 hour. So Nathan walks for 15 minutes, jogs for 45 minutes, and then walks for another 20 minutes. How much time is this altogether? And we want you to give your answer in hours and minutes. So the total time will be 80 minutes. We add them all up and it's 80 minutes. Now remember that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So the 80 minutes would be 60 minutes for the hour plus an additional 20 minutes. So the total would be 1 hour, 20 minutes. So the question was asked, how much time is this altogether, or how long, the duration? Let's look at occurrence, the other aspect of time, the other idea related to time. Occurrence, or simply when. So some examples, it is now 15 minutes past 4, or approximately 15 minutes past 4. Notice the word past, P-A-S-T. I will visit on Monday. When will I visit? Primetime news starts at 7 o'clock. When does primetime news start? School reopened in October of 2020. When? The City and Guilds exam will be in June. And we could be more specific than that to say that the Math and English Skills exam will be on June 10, 2021. When will it be? That's your occurrence. Now let us look at the calendar, which is an instrument that we use in relation to time. Here's a question for you. On which day of the week is June 19? Notice that I have skillfully covered the 19th. So the calendar, let's look at it. It is June. It tells you that it is June and it is 2021. So this is actually the calendar for June 2021. So the 19th, if we start at the 17th, then the 18th would be a Friday, and the 19th would be a Saturday. All right, what date is circled? The date, we will have to give the day, the month, and the year. So the date circled would be June 10, 2021. And that's the date of your exam. That's the date of your City and Guilds exam. When is it? It is June 10, 2021. Here's another question. What is the date 2 weeks before the circled date? Well, 1 week before the circled date is on a Thursday, so 1 week before that would be the previous week on a Thursday, which would be the 3rd. We want 2 weeks before that, so let's see how we can work that out. So we're counting backwards from the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st, the Monday, the Monday that has no date on it would be May 31. Remember that the month of May has 31 days. So that would be the 31st. And then we are counting backwards from 31. So 2 weeks before would be the Thursday. The Thursday would be the 27th of May 2021. The 27th of May, 2 weeks before. 1 week before would be the 3rd. 2 weeks before would be the 27th of May, because May has 31 days. Here's another question. On what day of the week is July the 2nd, July 2, 2021? Again, we'll go down to after June. June has 30 days. So the Thursday would be July 1, and the Friday would be July 2. So the question is what day of the week? So we're answering specific questions. Continue looking at occurrence. So occurrence is telling the time or when something happened. What time is it? When did it happen? When a clock or watch is used, any one of two specific reference or start time is suggested. We're either talking about midday or midnight, and the part of the day may also be mentioned as we tell when something happens. The part of the day may be morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Some examples of telling the time. It is now 4 o'clock. It's 3:15. It's 9 in the morning. It's 6 p.m., 12 noon. And if we use a 24-hour clock, it is 1840 hours. Persons are more familiar with what is known as the 24-hour clock. The situation or context is sometimes helpful in deciding on the time of day. So we're talking about whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Look at some situations involving the 12-hour clock and see if we can determine the part of the day. The bank opens at 9 o'clock. What time of the day would that be? School ends at 2:15. Dan works on shift in a factory. This week, his shift starts at 6 o'clock. And next week, the shift will change to a new start time of 6 o'clock. That's strange, right? This week it's 6 o'clock, and next week it's 6 o'clock. And it says it's a change. Something is funny there, eh? My flight is at 7:45. Now let us look at a comparison of the 12-hour clock and the 24-hour clock. With the 12-hour clock, if we say it is 7:30 on the 24-hour clock, it's one of two ways we say it, and although there are 4 indications on the board, it's either 0730 hours or 1930 hours. We don't know which one of the times they're talking about here, and we can either use a colon with that, or it can go without the colon. With City and Guilds exam, most questions go without the colon, but sometimes the colon is included in the question, especially if the question is about when is it. But if it is occurrence, or if it is duration, it might not have the colon. So with the 12-hour clock, we might need additional information. Just saying it is 7:30, we might not know whether it is morning or afternoon. However, with the 24-hour clock, there are 2 options. It's either 7:30 hours or 1930 hours. Just decide which one of the times you want, whether you want the one in the morning or the one in the evening. The 12-hour clock divides it into 2 12-hour cycles. So with the 12-hour clock, the 2 reference times would be midnight and then midday. However, with the 24-hour clock, it's just one cycle, one 24-hour cycle, and the reference time is midnight. So when we talk about 1 o'clock for the 12-hour clock, the 1 o'clock could be 1 in the morning or 1 in the afternoon. On the other hand, with the 24-hour clock, if we say it is 0100, 100 hours as they say sometimes, then we know that it is a 1 right after midnight, in the dead of the night, as we would say. So with the 12-hour clock, we may also tell the part of day. So you might see 7:30 a.m. or 7:30 p.m. We tell the part of the day. And we always use the colon with the 12-hour clock. And therefore, and also we will have 3 or 4 digits. So with 7:30, there are 3 digits. But for example, 10 o'clock or 10:30, there will be 4 digits. With the 24-hour clock, let's look at the last 2 points there. The colon is not always used, as you can see in the first mention there of the 24-hour clock, and we always use 4 digits. So notice that for the 7 hour past the reference time, we use a 0 before 7:30 hours. So let us go back and look at the same situations again, and we're now using the 24-hour clock to indicate the time. So if the time says that the bank opens at 09 100 hours, then that is saying that it is 9 hours after midnight. So what time of the day would that be? Would that be morning, afternoon, or evening? It is morning. 9 hours after midnight would be in the morning. Using the 24-hour clock to talk about the time when school ends, 14:15 hours. Notice we didn't use a colon this time. That would be 2:15. Why would it be 2:15 and why would it be in the afternoon? It is 14 hours since midnight, so it would be after 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock would be, as we said, 12:00, so 14 would be 2 hours after that, 2:15 in the afternoon. Dan's work shift starts at 1800 hours. That's how they say it, but it's not actually 100, you know. It's not actually 100. Anything that comes after the colon cannot pass 60 because 60 minutes would make the next hour. Anyway, Dan's shift starts at 1800 hours. 1800 hours tells you that it's 18 hours since it was midnight, which means 12 o'clock would have gone, so it would be now 6 o'clock in the afternoon. 6 hours after 12 would give us 18 hours, 6 p.m. The next shift starts at 0600 hours. Look at that, clearly. So there's a difference between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So 0600 hours would be 6 hours after midnight, which would be 6 in the morning. The flight now. The flight is 7:45. Is it occurring in the morning or afternoon? Suppose it's in the morning, then how would we write that using the 24-hour clock? It would be 07:45, 7 hours and 45 minutes after midnight. And then if it would be night, it would be 12 hours after midday and 12 hours after the midday, let's start again. It's 7:45 hours after midday, so that would be 12 plus the 19, which would give, 12 plus the 7, which would give us 19. Okay, is that clear? Okay, how would we write each time? And we just did that. Now let us look at some examples related to midnight and then another one related to midday. It's 6 hours and 30 minutes after midnight. On the 12-hour clock, how would we write that? It would be 6:30 in the morning. Let's go again. 6 hours and 30 minutes after midnight would be 6:30 in the morning or 6:30 a.m. If we put that on the 24-hour clock, remember that we must use 4 digits, so it would be 0630 hours. Let us look at the same time indication, but this time after midday. 6 hours and 30 minutes after midday. On the 12-hour clock, it would be 6:30 p.m. afternoon, after the noonday period. And on the 24-hour clock, it would be the 12 hours for the midday plus 6 hours and 30 more minutes. So that would be 12 hours plus 6 more hours would give us 18 hours plus the 30 minutes. So that's 2 examples of using 6:30. Let's try these. 8:15 a.m. using the 24-hour clock would be 08:15. Right? Morning is just after the hour, so the first hour after the midnight would be 1 hour, then 8 hours after that would be 8:15. All right? 12:45 p.m. would be 2:45 p.m. would be 12 noon plus 2 more hours, which would give us 14 hours and 45 minutes. 11:20 hours using the 12-hour clock would be in the morning. It's 11 hours since it was midnight, so that would be the a.m. And 13:00 hours would be 1 hour after 12 o'clock, so that would be 1 p.m. All right, here's a question for you. Tina started driving to the country at 13:40 hours. She arrived at her destination at 15:15 hours. How long did she stay? Let us look at 2 solutions, one by Rory and one by Francine. Let's look at Rory's solution. Which calculation is correct? Let us see if we can understand Rory's calculation. We'll go to the board. So we have 15 hours, and then from that we want to find out how much time, so that is 13:40. Okay, and we're subtracting. So we're on the board and we're going to do the subtraction. We want to see if Rory's answer or Francine's answer makes sense. Okay, we have 40 minutes and we want to take 15 minutes from that. We can't take 40 from 15, so we are going to the 15 hours that we have here. Take 1 hour and write that hour as 60 minutes. So it's still 15 hours, but it is 14 hours plus 60 minutes. 60 minutes will give us 1 hour, so it's still 15 hours. So we now have 75 minutes in all. 60 minutes plus the 15 minutes, and then we can now take the 40 minutes from that. How much is left? So which one is correct? What's wrong with Rory's answer? Francine's answer is correct. What is wrong with Rory's answer? Rory took the 1 hour and treated it as if it were 100 minutes. And 1 hour is not 100 minutes. 1 hour is 60 minutes. So Francine's answer is correct because she treated the 1 hour as 60 minutes rather than Rory that treated the 1 hour as 100 minutes. So Francine's answer is correct. Here's another part of the question. What is the answer? Let's read the question again. How long did she take? Right? So what is the answer? And can we check our answer using another method? So the question is asking how long. So the contention here is it that the answer should be 1:30 a.m., 1:30 p.m., or is it that it should be that it is 1 hour and 30 minutes? And the correct thing is that the answer is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Can we check it another way? Yes, we can. Let's check from 1340 to 1440 would give us 1 hour. And then a little bit more than that would get us to 15. So it's actually 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right, let us look at this. Identify each time-related idea and decide if it is duration or occurrence. After watching a math lesson on TVJ, watch it again on YouTube, plan for about 45 minutes. When watching the second time, stop a few minutes to work out each answer before you continue. Let us look at each situation. Which one is how long? After is a time-related thing, and that is when. When should it happen? About 45 minutes, that is how long. The second time is when, and few minutes is how long, and the last one is before, and before again is when. All right. So we have been looking at time, and we are out of time actually, so we'll not be looking at any sample questions today. We'll look at it another time because that's all we have for our math lesson today. I hope you have learned a lot, and as usual, it was a pleasure guiding you through.